Got a 94 740 IL E32 7 series. Been getting a lot of these. Looks like this one was rolled. Pretty rough. Wow. That's some damage I've never seen before. Ouch. All right, that's going to be the thumbnail right there. Okay. Well. Well, it's pretty beat. It is pretty beat. Okay, on these we're checking the armrests. No good. All right, radio stuff. No good. Sunroof switch panel. Nope. And this does have the IHKA that's in my M5 that I've pulled from the other cars. Just checking all those functions. All right, probably gonna yank that. And then also the sword that's back there. And then the module that's on the driver's side. So that's kind of a... So this is another 4-liter M60 B40. The build date on this car is April of '94. So I think only the early '93 740s had the trumpet style intake manifold that I pulled off in earlier episodes. And I've sold 2 of those so far for about like 400-ish. Without the trumpet, it's more like 200. It's way more common. I think it's still worth it to pull. I want to pull the engine computer, the DME that's in here. Should be a 404 DME. Will cost me about 10 bucks, I think. I've sold those for 100 in the past. And then we have the brake booster, the remote brake booster. And again, I don't have my tripod, but I know I took those off another E32, I think in episode 4 or maybe 5. And that right now is for sale. I still think it's worth it to pull it, put it on the shelf, and then have two up for sale. So we're doing HVAC stuff, maybe the general module in the back seat, DME, the engine computer, maybe the MAF too while we're at it. If it looks decent, I'll check it, see if it rattles. When I shake it, see if it has any obvious damage, or if it's in good enough shape where I think I can put it up and let people know that it's from a used car and I don't know the condition. Intake manifold and brake booster setup. The auxiliary water pump is gone, but if you can find those in good shape without the broken neck, those are worth taking. And then maybe headlights, but I don't think so. Just have this one pair. Those are OEM. Those are hella. And the other side is gone. Maybe fogs. Those NFL fogs look decent. They're damaged on the right side. Maybe brakes. Depends on how much they cost here. I'm not sure, but it's already a long list, so I'm gonna get to it. All right, it's taking me 30 minutes to get this intake manifold off without cutting the harness or damaging anything. I know the throttle body's still on there. I spent about 5 or 10 minutes trying to get these bolts out, and they always round out. I think they're T25, and then you got to use the vice grips to get them off. So hopefully they won't charge me for the throttle body. If they do, I'll try to get them off at the front. Otherwise, use my tools back at the shop to get those off. And it's 4:05. I've got another hour and a half left here. I'm going to see if I can get the remote brake booster out. Probably do the DME first, real quick, then start working on that brake booster. All right, it's about an hour later, and I have the remote brake booster off. So this is the booster and the master cylinder. So this would be the front of the car that way, and then across the bars of this cart is the remote brackets and levers and everything. So this is the brake pedal side, and then this is where it bolts onto the firewall from the inside. And then when you push the brake pedal, it pushes that lever, which then moves the thing up there that attaches to the back of that brake booster. And then I've got an alarm system that was underneath the dash. Depending on how much that is, I'll buy it. I got the control modules from the back underneath the rear seat, and also the on the passenger side e-box. So that's the general module, and the light control module, the check control module, and then the relay module. So I think the GM and RM are in the back seat. That's the general module, relay module, and then the LKM and CCM are in the front opposite the engine computer. So let's go see what the damage is.
All right, we spent $212 on these used parts off of this 740 IL. I've only sold 4 of them. I probably got about 12 parts. I'll put a spreadsheet up showing what I bought and how much I paid for them. But I'm going to go over the four big things that have sold, and then I'll talk a little bit more about the stuff that hasn't sold yet. But the first thing is we have the remote brake booster. Okay, cost $40. Sold it for $388.24 on eBay. Shipping was $123. So after buying it, paying for eBay fees, paying for shipping, the net was $225.24. So $225 just on that remote brake booster setup after paying eBay fees, after paying shipping. Pretty good. The intake manifold, it cost me $60. So because I had the throttle body on the front, I wasn't able to get it off. They charged me $30 for that. So kind of expensive. not what I like, but it's still sold for $194. Shipping was $40. So all in, we made $94.45 on the intake manifold. So pretty good. All right, the third thing, the 404 DME, that's the engine computer. That is, I paid $23 for that, sold it for $110. After eBay and shipping fees, the net was $57.70. Okay, not bad. And then the relay module, the RM, that's one of those modules that's under the back seat, and that only cost me $8, and I sold it for $68 on eBay. So after eBay fees and shipping, that was $50.15. So really not that bad. I'll have to tally up what we got there. $427.54 in profit. That's pretty good. Total sales was like, I don't know, probably closer to 800 or 900, but after shipping and eBay fees and buying the parts themselves, $430 is pretty good. That's not bad. I'm happy with that. Those 4 parts that I sold, that represents $130 of the 210 more or less that I spent in the junkyard. So I still have a bunch of parts left over. I've got the IHKA controls that I always talk about because it's like a BMW specific part that I can test in my daily driver. I just sold another one of those last week for $180. So the one that I have from this car is going to be listed up for sale soon. And I've been getting a lot of value out of selling those and having them tested and working. So I noticed the one that I sold last week, it sold for $180, and there were like 5 other of the same part for between $100 and $150. Mine was the most expensive, and it sold because I had it listed as tested, and I had pictures of it in my car with everything lit up and everything working. So that's been really good. You know, I still have like 8 parts from this trip that are either in storage or on my shelf. So I expect to make even more money off this car in the future. I mean, one thing that I'm bad at is I took this video a long time ago, and a lot of these parts ended up just going in bins and never getting listed on eBay, which is something that I'm working on. But eventually I will sell those parts or test them in my car and then sell them. So I'll be making even more money. But $427 off this car is pretty good. If you've watched my channel, you know that we take 20% of the proceeds and we donate them to St. Jude's. So from this episode 85, and I'll put it right here, It's my favorite part of the episode. Pretty good. Hope you enjoyed it. I need to work on these videos and get more. I say it every time, but I have a lot of videos in the pipeline. Recently sold some cool Mercedes stuff and Toyota stuff, so I'm looking forward to getting that out to you guys. Till the next one.